Happy Thanksgiving to my American viewers, and the rest of the world too, why not? And what says Thanksgiving more than a Halloween creepypasta? Hey, at least it's not Christmas, right? Could be worse. Anyway, this is a fanfic audio story, Voice of the Tower, horror related, by Spooky Electronics, as you could tell from the opening. Because anytime there's something spooky related, 9 times out of 10 it's Lavender Town.
Voices of the Tower by Spooky Electronics.
Art by Shannon Udetrat and Vinny Disc Arrangement.
And instant noodles. The on-air sign glowed a tired red above the glass booth, humming faintly. It was late. Too late for anyone to be listening except insomniacs, truckers, and the dead.
Let's take this Crypt of the Dead and turn it into a radio tower. The sad thing is that might have been ridiculous at one day, nowadays they'd still do it.
Voice smooth as a used car.
Nothing's sacred.
You're tuned to the Spirit Frequency, the #1 show for Kanto's restless souls and sleepless trainers, brought to you as always by Sylph East. He grinned at the camera like it owed him money. Across the desk,
Please
Victor
watch.
Halen returned to smile. CEO perfect. Teeth glowing against his tanned face, eyes the color of old glass. He had that air about him, like everything he touched was already monetized. It's an honor to be here, Darren, Victor said, clasping his hands.
Right.
Lavender has changed so much since my youth. I like to think we've turned its legacy into something hopeful, modern, vibrant. Mina Aura sat behind the glass, where the air was cooler, thinner. She kept her headset tilted off one ear, listening to 2 worlds at once, the show in front of her, and the whispers crawling beneath it. They never stopped. Sometimes it was crying, sometimes it was growling, or the soft tap, tap, tap of something that didn't have fingers.
Creepy.
Studio mics didn't pick
Then
it
you
up,
never get
of course,
rid
they
of
never
the
did.
whole
But she heard
graveyard
spaces
setup.
between syllables.
Is this an ancient Indian burial ground? No, it's an ancient Pokemon burial ground.
She tried not to listen. It only made the air heavier. Hopeful, Darren echoed with a chuckle that meant he was checking the clock. Right. Because nothing says hope like paving over a cemetery. The jab landed soft. They both laughed. Victor even clapped him on the shoulder, a practiced good-natured gesture that made Mina's stomach twist. She'd read the internal memos. How they'd called the exhumations a resource reallocation. The bones had gone to Mr. Fuji's old house, piled in crates marked archival. Hopeful indeed. Come on, Mina, said Darren over the intercom voice low. Cue up the promo track, the one with the bells. We'll ask Victor about his vision for the future of Kanto broadcasting. Real inspirational stuff.
Now think about it, there was a Halloween in the Pokemon region. They probably could just switch the frickin' creepy noises stations once per year, right?
A whisper cut through her headset.
And people would just think it's part of a special effect.
A voice she didn't know but had heard too many times.
He doesn't hear us.
Mina froze. Her thumb hovered over the console. Another voice, lower, like a growl beneath the floorboards.
He will.
Mina? Darren's voice crackled through the comm. Everything alright back there?
Nope.
She blinked hard.
I'm just getting voices from the
Smiled
undead.
couldn't see.
Fine, just interference.
We just need to drop a max revive in between the
The
floorboards.
tower's old ghost acting up again, Happens every few months. Don't tell me we need another exorcist on payroll. Darren laughed on cue. Mina didn't.
I mean, there were exorcist trainers
Somewhere
in the
deep
tower
wiring,
in
something
Gen 1.
knocked. 3 dull thuds, measured and deliberate, like a heartbeat learning how to mimic one. And for a moment through the static, she heard it again. Dozens of voices whispering, layered atop one another in perfect, dreadful harmony.
We remember.
The air went cold enough to fog the glass. The broadcast light flickered once, then steadied. Mina took
Well,
a
could
slow
you please
breath,
forget?
adjusted the dial, and whispered under her breath, half prayer, half apology.
Not yet. Please, not yet.
Then she hit play. The promo track played, bells chiming like a lullaby played through rust. In the booth, Darren and Victor kept talking, their voices bright and
So I'm
hollow.
gonna send the
2 men congratulating
Pokemon back to
themselves for
sleep, I
surviving their
guess.
own echo. Mina watched the waveform crawl across her monitor. It pulsed wrong. The bassline dipped in intervals that didn't belong to the recording. Beneath the music, something new had joined in. Not static, not feedback, more like breathing. She turned down the gain, but it stayed. So you see, Victor was saying, Lavender Town needed something new to define it. The tower, the broadcast, they give people a reason to come here again. Commerce brings life.
Couldn't you just
The
build
ghost
a
will pass,
new
they'll take the
tower?
time. Darren nodded like a bobblehead.
Beautifully said. And tonight's broadcast, a testament to that progress.
The soundproof glass didn't stop Nina from hearing the shift in the air. There was always a moment before it happened, before days stirred, when the temperature dropped and the fluorescent lights began to hum just slightly off key. She checked her feet again.
There's no way that
Channel
they
3,
turned the
backup
frickin'
line was
Lavender
open.
Town
It
tower
shouldn't
into a
have been.
frickin' radio
Connected
tower
to a dead
without it being some
transmitter
kind
on
of
the
commentary.
sublevel.
There's no way that they
Built
just be like,
directly
yeah, that's
above the
okay.
tower's central
It,
memorial used to stand.
that's not just something you can shrug off. Someone had to bring it up.
She flinched. The voice was in her headset this time. It came from behind her, soft and familiar.
The voices know my name.
Empty office, just her desk, her cold coffee.
What if these are the voices Randy Orton always
Sign
hears?
reflected in the window, but she could smell something, faint, sweet, and dusty like wilted flowers.
Damn
Back in the booth,
Sandshrews.
Darren had launched into the call-in segment.
Alright, listeners, you know the number. Let's hear your stories about Lavender Town. Any paranormal encounters, weird dreams, that sort of thing? Let's see who's brave enough to share.
Why would anyone live here?
Static. Then a voice, fragile, distorted by distance.
I used to visit my Kangaskhan here.
Mina's blood ran cold. Victor laughed, polite and hollow. A nostalgic one, huh? Those old tales about the Pokémon Tower. Touching. But you'll be happy to know, young lady, that this place is brimming with energy now. No more ghosts and lavender. Silence. Then the caller again.
They're like the
Voice trembling.
creepypasta writers.
You shouldn't have moved them.
The line cut to shrieking static. The lights dimmed. Darren.
They moved them all into Mr.
Technical
Fuji's
glitch happens all
house.
the time.
So many
Victor
freaking
smiled for the cameras
graves
again,
in
his
one
fingers
tower
tapped against the
moved to
desk.
one dude's house.
Mina's body
Imagine that happens to you.
Lines of data
Like the
scrolling faster
graveyard
than she
around
could
where
read.
you
Her
live
soundboard
just
lit up like
decides,
a Christmas
we're just gonna move
tree.
everything into your
All the
house.
channels
What?
open.
You're gonna
Every
what?
dead frequency in the
Although
tower
Fuji
had just
probably
come
was up to
online.
it, given the kind of guy he
Food
was.
became the voices.
He might have even suggested it. He might have tried to like throw him to the sea or something, and Fuji's
Layered
like,
like
no,
a
you can,
choir
they can live with
well.
me.
Nina swallowed hard, hands
Eep.
trembling over the controls. Her throat felt tight.
Stop.
She whispered under her breath, not sure who she was begging. Her reflection in the glass looked pale and haunted. She could see Victor's silhouette behind her, all polished posture and corporate calm. A man who thought ghosts could be rebranded. Outside the booth,
Despite the fact that ghost types are a thing in this
Dolphin
universe.
echoed,
Ghosts are confirmed.
measured and heavy, like footsteps of something far too large. Darren leaned towards his mic, half-nervous grin returning.
Well, folks, looks like the spirits want a word tonight. Maybe the old tower's still got a little life left in there, huh?
No one laughed this time. The lights flickered again, once, twice, and when they steadied, Mina saw it, just for a heartbeat. A shape reflected in the studio glass, massive and hulking, a mother silhouette with nothing in her arms. Then it was gone.
Dark Necrofear in the 4Kids version.
Words trembling out to her before they could stop.
You're not fading, Mr. Halen. You're waking up.
Let's
For a few
leave.
seconds, everything was still. The monitors glowed pale in the dark, humming faintly. Darren sat frozen mid-smile. Victor blinked, slow and deliberate, like a man deciding whether the fear in his gut was real or just indigestion. Mina didn't move. She couldn't. Every hair on her arm stood up. The air was colder now, wet, metallic, and wrong. Then came the sound of bud, deep and low, from the base of the tower. Then another higher up. Something climbing, maybe, or remembering how. The building's frame shuddered with it, soft groans rolling through the steel. Darren forced a laugh. Well, folks, these are guests tonight. His microphone hissed, then popped. The soundboard flared red. Every dial swung to maximum at once. Thud.
They got the guy who caused all this to happen right there in that studio booth.
A rhythm steady.
They were
and
going to pass
slow,
that opportunity.
like a heartbeat through concrete. Mina yanked her headset off, stumbled out of her chair.
Get out of the booth.
She said, voice flat, almost calm.
Now.
Victor turned to her, frown precise. Miss Aura, what? The studio lights blew. Glass shattered inward, showering the desk. The emergency lighting flickered on, leaving everything in ghost red.
Oh,
She was
God.
there. A shape
Or
unfolding
Arceus.
out of the static, tall, broad, eternal in the most terrifying sense. A Kangaskhan, or what was left of one. Her fur had gone the color of dust. Her eyes were two hollows glowing faintly blue. The space in her pouch was empty, torn open, a cradle with nothing to hold. Every breath she took,
The
rattled
Joey's
windows.
gone. Maybe turn
Victor
into its own
slumped
king.
back,
It's
hand
gone.
over
Maybe
his
become a
mouth.
Cubone. Don't really
is
know what
that?
happens with that.
Mina stared at the apparition through the
Other
glass.
than, I do like that
Her
the
slow,
Mega is it's
trembling
Joey
speed.
coming out.
Her name was Mora.
The ghost's eyes flicked toward the booth, settling on Victor. The glass between them frosted over in an instant.
You took her from me.
The voice wasn't sound, it was vibration.
Ah,
Deep enough to
crap.
rattle the bones and teeth. Victor stammered. This is some kind of projection.
You took her grave.
The floor vibrated. One of the light fixtures fell, bursting on impact. Darren bolted for the exit. The door wouldn't open.
Fuji took some of the grades,
Static
not
hissed
all
from
of
every
them.
speaker, twisting, forming a low, mournful hum. Mina pressed her palms to the glass, whispering towards the shape.
Mara, he's the one who moved you. But don't hurt anyone else. Please.
Mora's head tilted, slow, unnatural. Her claws dragged along the booth's window, carving thin, wide lines like nails on a chalkboard.
She called for me. You built your tower over her voice.
Then the power failed. Total darkness. Only the
Don't you
red
guys have
light
Pokemon too?
faint pulsing blue of Mora's eyes. Victor screamed, high, thin, undignified, as the air around him rippled. Papers lifted off the desk, hovering in the low hum. Mina could feel the static in her veins, her heart sinking to the rhythm of the building's pulse. Somewhere above she heard another voice, softer and higher. A child, crying. Mora turned her massive head upward, as if hearing it too. Sound cut through the noise like light through fog, and for a moment her fury faltered. The lights dimmed again.
She's calling.
Mina swallowed.
Go to her, Mara.
The Kangaskhan's outline flickered. The anger ebbed, replaced by something achingly human. Grief too old to bear. Her shape broke apart into motes of pale light that drifted upward, seeping through the ceiling like smoke through paper. Silence followed. Then the monitors all came back to life at once. Every screen, every frequency, showing static and one phrase looping in distorted text. We remember. Mina sank into
Forget
the chair,
this, I'm out.
trembling, eyes burning. Victor slumped against the wall, breath ragged. What was that? She looked at him through the glass.
Your ratings boost.
The broadcast ended 30 minutes early, though nobody said the word ended. The technical difficulties graphic still looped across the live feed. Lavender Tower's cheerful logo frozen above a crawling bar of static. Darren had gone home muttering something about needing a stiff drink. Victor hadn't moved from the booth. Mina stood on the other side of the glass, watching him breathe like a man counting his heartbeats. His perfect composure had cracked. The tie was gone, the hair out of place. He looked smaller. Somehow.
Here, bro, it's like
still
Yugi
alive.
Moto, but white.
Miss Aura, he said at last, voice hoarse. Coffee. She blinked.
You want coffee?
Yes. His eyes twitched towards the empty control board.
Look,
"And I
everyone
want you
copes
to,"
in some
she
way.
gestured vaguely. Make sure none of this gets leaked. We'll edit the footage.
I got
Spin it as
bad
a
news for you.
promotional
It was
stunt.
uploaded to YouTube on Halloween.
You do the damage control, I'll handle the caffeine.
She turned and left before he could add anything else. The hallway outside was too quiet. The hums of the light had gone thin. The air carried the same faint smell again. Flowers, ashes. She stopped at the coffee machine, punched a button, watched the brown liquid dribble into a paper cup that said Lavender Radio, broadcasting life. The irony wasn't lost on her. And then she saw her reflection shift. Not her reflection. Her. Mora stood beside the machine, half in shadow, her shape flickering between light and absence. The
Oh,
ceiling
God.
above her bowed slightly, as if even the building recognized her weight. The air grew thick enough to taste static and sorrow. Mina didn't startle this time. She just held the cup between both hands, trying to keep them from shaking.
So, you come here often?
She said softly.
He heard us first.
Nora's voice was quieter now, less like thunder. Her outline pulsed faintly blue.
I know.
Mina said.
I know what he did. But if you destroy him, you'll...
We are already destroyed.
The hallway's lights flickered. The faint crying returned. Mina realized she wasn't hearing it with her ears. Nora's gaze shifted downwards to the floor. Nora's gaze shifted downwards toward the floor, towards whatever place her child's spirit wasn't.
I hear her too.
Mina murmured.
She's not gone, just displaced. You can still find her.
Wires all over the
Nora
place.
tilted her
It's
head
probably in between
along
the
the
floorboards. They're here! Between the floorboards!
You say, child. You hear us. You feel us. Why work for him?
Mina laughed once.
I don't know.
Rent.
The Kangaskhan said nothing. Mina took a sip of coffee, grimaced. It tasted like burnt dirt.
It is burnt
She
dirt.
added.
Someone has to listen to you. Nobody else will.
Listening will not save you.
I'm not
Nobody
sure
will buy
what
me
to say.
time.
For a moment, Mara's massive hand flickered close enough that Mina could almost feel it. Warm and cold at once. The ghost's eyes softened. The faintest echo of the mother she once was.
He's still here. The others are coming.
I know.
You can't stop them.
I'm not
I can try.
The lights brightened for half a heart, as if the tower itself exhaled. When Mina looked up again, Mara was gone, leaving behind only the faint scent of flowers. Mina stared at her cup. The ripples on the surface vibrated gently, in time with the hum of the building. Somewhere below, deep in the tower's foundation, something else had started to move.
Oh boy.
Mina re-entered the booth carrying 2 paper cups. The emergency lighting still painted everything a dull infernal red. Victor had cleaned up just enough glass to convince himself the situation was under control. He was on the phone. Yes, no, it's fine, just a surge. The power grid's old, you know how it is. in
Lieutenant
London.
Surge?
Yes, well, we'll schedule the PR shoot. And tell security to stop spreading ghost stories. He hung up, turned. I smiled with the brittle courtesy of a man one headline away from a breakdown. You saw something. You think you did. I don't blame you. Stress does things that the human mind finds very suggestible. Mina set the coffee on the desk.
She nearly broke your window.
Victor waved a dismissive hand. And yet here we are. No casualties, no evidence. This is a signal issue, Miss Aura. Faulty equipment. The tower's PA system crackled to life. A low hum too deep for the speakers rolled through the room. The smell hit first. Smoke. Like fur singed. Mina's eyes darted towards the vents.
You smell that?
Victor sniffed, frowning. Old wiring, probably. The air shimmered. A faint orange pulse glowed behind the grill of the nearest vent, flickering like a heartbeat. The hum slowly became a growl that only gave way for the heat. It started on the floor. A slow bloom that climbed through the soles of the machines.
Arcanine.
Mina stepped back from the console.
Victor?
Stay calm, he said, tugging at his collar. It's just
The good thing about
static
this being in
buildup.
Gen 1 is we
The
literally only have
insulation, a voice
151
rumbled through the
choices.
speakers. Deep, guttural. It didn't come from the radio. It was the radio.
You burned us.
The vents belched
Burnt.
smoke. Victor stumbled backward, coughing. What is this? Mina didn't answer. She was staring at the far wall where the smoke gathered. Thick, swirling, coalescing into one shape. A massive muscle. Fangs of ember. Eyes like twin furnace doors swinging open. Arcanine, or what was left of one. His fur rippled like fire in slow motion. Each strand glowing and dying, glowing and dying.
That's just like a really cool ghost version of Arcanine, like a regional variant.
The The sprinkles clicked on. Too late. The water hissed the steam
Way
before
too
it
late.
touched him. The smell of scorched metal filled the room. Mina's voice came out small.
Rex?
The spirit turned toward her. The fury in his gaze softened for half a heartbeat. Recognition, maybe. Or gratitude that someone still remembered his name. Then his focus snapped back to Victor.
He forgets. It all forgets.
Victor tried to
Because
speak,
they all
but his
had
voice broke
nicknames,
halfway.
though.
Listen, I did your trainer. There were permits. The temperature spiked. The glass of the booth began to warp. Mina
Would
grabbed his
burning
arm.
an Arcanine
Move
even
it!
do
He
anything?
dove out just as the monitors burst in a
It has
wave of
flame
crystal
body.
shards.
I guess
Flames
even in
lit the
death.
soundproof
eh.
panels, crawling upward. The sprinkler system screamed overhead, useless against spectral fire. Through the smoke, Rex's outline filled the roof. A lion shape in an inferno's body. His growl wasn't rage anymore. It was grief made audible.
He wanted to save them. We both did.
Mina stepped forward, shielding her eyes.
You did, Rex. You saved them. You can rest now.
Not while he breathes.
The flames flared, outlining Victor's silhouette in the doorway. Mina turned, blocking the ghost's path. Her voice cracked but held steady.
You think burning him brings you peace? It won't. You'll just...
He took their names.
The fire surged toward her, then stopped short. The heat rolled over without burning. She felt the rumble of his heartbeat. Rex's shape trembled. That glow in his chest dimmed. Slowly he turned his head upward towards the rafters. Through the ceiling smoke a faint shimmer flickered. Soft blue light like wings. Luna was watching. Rex's snarl faded into something quieter. A long exhale. His body broke apart into drifting cinders that rose through the smoke. Mina watched until the last ember disappeared. Silence. Then the hiss of dying sprinklers. Rufus blackened, warped. Victor sank to his knees, gasping, suit soaked, tie half melted.
Frickin'
What?
run! We're gonna
What's our
Pokemon!
Mina wiped the soot from her cheek.
What's left?
Mina leaned against the half-melted console, hands trembling. Her breath came out in short, visible clouds. Victor sat on the floor. Amid
I can only
the
imagine what would happen if
wall,
Junji
ice
Ito
and
got his
fires.
hands in this
His
story.
receding stooge was
Or
scorched and
Junji
soaked.
Ito, I don't know how to pronounce the name
He looked
correctly.
smaller now, not guilty, just hollow. Mina broke the silence first.
You built this tower on the graves.
He blinked. Don't be melodramatic.
Rex said it.
It doesn't even exist! Mina gave a short, humorless laugh.
Ugh.
You're sitting in a room that just caught fire from inside the wiring, and that's still your story?
He looked down at his hands.
It's just some Sedokai, but I don't believe in
Cost to make
ancient
this place
Egypt as I
what
could
it took.
easily run into
Everyone
it.
said Lavender
Bullshit.
was a dead town. All ghosts and guilt. I made it useful again.
At what cost?
Old foundations, he muttered. Abandoned property. The excavation report said there were remnants of the old tower's substructure. Nothing sacred, just concrete and ash.
Just ash. You don't even hear yourself.
You think the world runs on feelings? You think you could build a radio empire on sentiment?
So you didn't use the
Everything in this
original
world,
building. The
every
original
building, every
building burned down.
broadcast
He just
stands on
used what
something
was
buried.
left, I guess.
That is civilization! Mina looked at him for a long moment.
You could have moved it. You could have built elsewhere.
He snorted. Do you have any idea what zoning in Kanto costs? Or how long it takes to get a broadcast license approved by the league? I cut through red tape. That's what executives do. She toddled her head.
And the spirits you cut through? What did they do?
He opened his mouth, then stopped.
You heard them before tonight, didn't you? The whispers, the crying, and you just ignored it.
Victor didn't answer.
Oh,
You
the
think
way
there
of the
was some
sacred
random
dollar.
haunting? That wasn't vengeance, Victor. That was grief. You stole their resting place and turned it into a brand.
He finally looked at her. I thought if I gave this place life again, maybe the dead would go quiet. Maybe they'd move on.
They did move on. You just built a tower to keep them here.
For a long moment, neither spoke.
They're trying to move
The air
on to the
hummed faintly
afterlife,
with
but now
left
they're
of static.
stuck.
Somewhere deep in the building.
You made
his
it
cable
worse.
buzzed. Victor dragged a hand down his face. Ugh. So what now? What? What do we do now?
Now,
She almost smiled, faintly.
now you listen. For once in your life, you listen. Because she's coming next.
She? Mina looks back, her eyes
Kangaskhan's
testing
coming
the
back?
conflict.
The one who's been here since
Worse.
the beginning. The one who saw every soul you burned away.
The temperature
Run,
dropped.
run, get out, get out, get out right now, as fast as you can, and don't stop
Carrying a smell of
running.
Flowers, lavender. Mina whispered.
Luna.
Victor flinched. What's happening?
That's where the Arcanine ran
Then
away
came the
from.
whisper. Not words at first, just
Could be a
tone.
Venusaur or something.
Victor froze.
Why
The
would
melody
why
was
would
old,
Arcanine run from a
familiar
Venusaur?
in that half memory.
I think I can fully evolve
Like a
starter.
lullaby someone hummed to their Pokemon before sleep.
You took our rest.
Voice wasn't sharp or loud. Victor swallowed. Do you hear that? Mina didn't answer. She just nodded once. One of the screens blinked on, static again. Except the static moved, swirling like a mist. Slowly a shape formed inside,
I repeat, get out.
pulsing with a faint opalescent light.
Golbat?
Breath caught. No. The shape fluttered closer to the screen, pressing against it. For a moment the static bent around the outline of a small Pokemon.
Ever seen
Sudden body,
Golbat with a closed mouth? It's cursed.
eyes that shouldn't have had that much sorrow in them. A Butterfree.
Do you remember us, Big Cranks?
Oh, well, we're
Back
jolly
to the edge
well
of the console.
fucked.
This isn't real.
You said the
At
same
least they're not
thing
dust
to the
talks.
crew.
That would be a traumatic experience.
Bones were still born.
Be advised that
Mina's face stayed.
Butterfree's still messed up though. Ooh.
She wasn't scared, more like listening to an old friend she'd been expecting.
You promised them memorial stones. You gave them marketing slogans. You told the cameras the tower was a beacon of life.
Victor shook his head. It was business. People don't come to a town full of graves. They come for hope, for purpose.
You
People
sold
come to
their
places for
silence.
graves. What,
The lights
do you
flickered
think
again.
humans don't go to
One by one.
graveyards?
The studio's digital displays began to glitch. Old broadcast logos, sponsorship reels, pre-recorded jingles, all of them twisted into gargled noise. Fragments of voices. Too many. Too human. Mina could almost make them out. Trainers thanking their partners. Last words gone static.
We were remembered once. Every trainer's voice, every farewell. You erased us to make room for noise.
You don't understand.
I do.
Friggin' telepathy, man.
But you buried our names under glass and metal. I stayed. Someone had to greet the others when they woke up alone.
Luna.
The spirit turned slightly toward Mina.
You can still hear us.
I always could.
But you know what he's done.
Mina hesitated, glancing at Victor.
I do.
Then you know what must follow.
Victor's voice broke. Wait, please! I didn't kill anyone!
No one's calling you a killer.
Unburied everyone.
Every monitor in the booth went
It's
black
just-
except one.
They're saying you disgrace the dead.
Showed the tower's lowest floor. Basement. Shadows were moving down there. Slow, shuffling, and wrong.
They've been waiting, Victor, for their final broadcast.
The Butterfree's glow brightened, filling the booth with pale lavender light. Victor fell to his knees. Stop it! He screamed. Stop this!
No, this is me stopping you.
Mina didn't move. Her face was pale but calm. Victor turned to her, trembling. What are they going to do to me? Mina stepped back as the light behind
Kill
Mina
you.
began to spread. One shimmer became dozens. Dozens became hundreds. Shapes emerged through the walls, gentle and gray, drifting outlines of Pokemon. Faint as
I don't
candles.
like this.
Some small and timid, some vast and broken, all glowing with the same pale sorrow. The air filled with whispers. They didn't scream or rage, but they remembered.
My trainer left flowers here every year. It was his first battle.
She was going to evolve me. Said she'd come
Until
back.
she find me.
Each voice layered over the next, a rising chorus of loss. The radio monitors flared to life, broadcasting nothing but the sound of crying. A child's sob here, a muffled apology there, tangled in static. Victor backed into the console. Stop! Please, stop! The ghosts didn't advance. They surrounded him, but at a respectful distance, as if still afraid of scaring the living. Even now they wanted understanding more than vengeance. Luna hovered nearest. Her eyes shimmered.
They came here to rest, Victor Hayes. You made them perform.
Victor shook his head violently, tears streaking through the grime on his face. I didn't know! I didn't!
You knew enough to move the stones. The sound of silence.
Then Mora appeared again, towering at the back of the room.
I died to protect the child. Now I watch children cry for the ones who protected them.
A smaller ghost, a cubo missing its helmet, translucent bone clutched in one paw, reached towards Mora, then turned to Victor.
You took my mother away.
Victor's lips trembled. I did it! Please! Another spirit, a faint outline of an Eevee, pattered forward and sat in front of him.
You said I was a good boy.
The sound cracked something in him. He dropped to his knees, chest heaving. I just wanted to help this town. Make it mean something again.
We already meant something.
The sound wasn't loud, but it filled the world. It filled his lungs, his thoughts, a small desperate rhythm of his heart. Mina took a step forward.
Victor.
He looked up at her, eyes wide. His lips moved once. No words. Just a strangled exhale. Then he went still. His body toppled sideways, hitting the floor with a dull, final thud. One hand reached out, open, as though still trying to grasp something he couldn't name. Mina stared. The ghost fell silent all at once. The lights flickered faintly, as if the tower itself was exhaling in relief. For a moment no one spoke. Luna drifted closer.
It's done.
Mina knelt beside Victor, two fingers.
Looks like this
against his
place is a
neck.
graveyard
Nothing.
again.
I don't know if that counts as justice.
Luna looked at her.
It's remembrance. Thank you for listening.
Someone had to.
Luna nodded once. The tower went still. Outside, dawn was coming up over Lavender Town, pale and thin. Mina looked down at Victor one last time. Then, almost under her breath, she let out one final exhale. A month had passed. Lavender Radio Tower sat quiet now, stripped of its microphones and monitors, speakers empty and cold. The building's steel frame gleamed faintly under the morning sun, and the air smelled of rain on concrete and fresh earth. Mina stood at the edge of the tower grounds, hands tucked into the pockets of a worn jacket, eyes following the procession of trucks and workers. Heavy crates and caskets were being carried carefully back inside the tower. Each box bore a small, faded plaque.
Shouldn't disgrace
Names
the
of
dead.
Pokemon once exhumed for profit, now returning home. Her paycheck had been absurdly generous. Apparently, not many people wanted to work in a cemetery that had recently been haunted by hundreds of ghosts. Mina didn't complain. She had wanted a job that let her listen.
You mean you didn't want
Now
to? Well,
she'd be the one
yeah.
tending the ground, keeping it clean,
We're
quiet,
in a radio tower.
respectful. The workers moved with deliberate care. Fresh soil, polished caskets, stones engraved with names and dates, stories etched into granite. Mina's eyes scanned the headstones as they were placed into their new positions. And then she saw them. 3 names. Rex, Luna, Mara. She knelt for a moment,
Back to where they were
tracing
before.
each name with a gloved finger. A small breeze stirred, brushing her hair across her face, carrying with it the faintest scent of smoke, lavender, and flowers. Mina exhaled, letting the air leave her lungs slowly. For the first time in a long while, the world felt steady. The dead were home and the living could finally breathe again. The graves were sealed, flowers placed, stories remembered. The tower had become what it was meant to be again. A place for mourning, a place for memory, and a place for respect. Mina stood and brushed the dirt from her gloves. The morning light touched the gravestones, making the layers gleam faintly. Mina smiled. Asked well. A murkrow passed overhead, the only sound was
Johto.
renewed silence. But for the first time in decades, the voices of the tower finally breathed.
And rested in peace. Nice story there, Spooky. All without a single jump scare or anything like that. It was all a still image, but it's an audio story we were going to do. It's kind of impressive in a way that the song of Lavender Town has lasted this long. Like, I can't tell you half the songs in Pokemon, but half the town themes anyway. Like, I can tell you it's songs, absolutely, but town themes, not a lot. But Lavender Town sticks rent-free in a lot of people's heads. It's... I don't know why either. I guess it's just a very simple yet effective, less is more sort of thing. But, yeah. If it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be Lavender Town. Anyway, as for the story itself, woman sees ghosts and they come to kill the guy who turned their place into a radio tower. Still probably one of the most effed up things in the Pokemon world. Like, I'm saying one of them. I'm not saying it cracks the top 10 or anything like that, but it's at least an honorable mention. You can't not mention it. They turned it into a radio tower, you mooks. Well, now everything's been turned back, so the Pokemon can now rest in peace where they belong and move on to the next world. So, she did a good job of setting everything back to normal and allowing the dead to rest again. And now no people will come and rest their dead there, and the cycle begins anew. The sad fact of life is that people are always going to need graveyards. It's sad, but it's life. Nothing you can do about it. We can't cure death yet. But anyway, I like the storytelling and Spooky going into detail and stuff like that stuff. Spooky does have this obsession with going into obvious detail of every single freaking detail, but honestly it works out for them in some regards, especially in audio stories like this, to help you get the picture well. Only, I guess, gripe with this thing would be like, so do you guys just not have Pokemon, but I guess they're just so freaked out by everything they wouldn't think to do it? Or maybe it's one of the cases like, please leave this at the bottom floor so you can't, I don't know, causing their Team Rocket situation, I guess, probably would up security after that. Just be like, please leave your Pokemon with us, I guess. It's not a major thing, it's just one of those things where you just think it'd be like, so do you guys not have any? Meh. I'm sorry, I do have Pokemon, but they're all Magikarps. I'm trying to turn them into Gyarados. Messed up story of a guy who just... I mean, it was totally his thing to be like, I'm trying to bring this place to a new generation, bring it up into the world and turn it into something. Not everything needs to be the next big thing. Not everything needs to be Celadon City. Some things could just be them. It could just be whatever it is. They don't have to be the next goldenrod. They could just be fine. I mean, odds are at the end of the day it was for money that he actually did the things. Probably something like line in the pockets thing. Even if he was generally just trying to move this place up in the world, the motivation was fine. Don't fuck with the dead. Have you not seen any zombie movies, my dude? Well, I think they're all horse crap. They are, but that still doesn't mean you disrespect the dead. Well, fuck around and find out, I guess. Sad story with the Kangaskhan, the Arcanine, and the Butterfree, so... Well, thankfully now they can all rest in peace and are moving on to better places. In Pokemon heaven, essentially. They're all going to the Poke Park to meet Pikachu! Well, now the dead can rest in peace and move on with their lives at least, so don't have to worry about being stuck in a radio tower anymore. I'm going to empty out this place and then move everything to Fuji's house. Oh crap, I missed a few caskets. I'm sure it won't matter too much. Oh no, I was wrong. I was very wrong. And apparently there was more in the basement too. Although maybe that was like, well yeah, it was probably there too. A bunch of mucks or something. It's a bunch of random blobs of Pokemon. Could be literally anything. I don't know. Could be Arceus. It's not Arceus stuff. Dude, that'd be funny. Just like you go down to the bottom level, it's like a Raticades, Grimers, and then the freaking Arceus there because fuck you, that's why. It's Mewtwo. What are you doing here? Shut up. But anyway, that's the end of the creepypasta. So good work to Spooky with writing this whole thing out. It was only a solid image, but that's all we need to be. Just set the scene. It's an audio story at the end of the day, not a freaking animation. No. And yeah, the descriptions of the Pokemon were pretty dang sick too. I love the Arcanines one, and that poor Kangaskhan Butterfree. But they're in a better place now. So yeah, good work there, Spooky. I've heard there's gonna be more Pokemon stuff coming from them in the future, but I'll have to worry about that stuff later. Until the next time that we see anything from Spooky, I guess I'll thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Check out Spooky's channel in your own time, and see all of you next time. Later.